Hi, everyone. It's Wednesday of Holy Week. And as we approach Easter Sunday, I know that many of us feel sad and even a little bit strange about the fact that we won't be able to gather in the church and have the type of celebration that we normally have each Easter Sunday as we get together and we sing songs and we have a pancake breakfast and we have flowers and we do all the kinds of special things that we've been used to doing for years and years. And I understand all of that, and I'm feeling that very much, not only as a pastor but as a church attender. But I'm wondering if we might consider together simply the stories of the very first Easter. On that morning when people went to the tomb where Jesus had been buried. As they went to that tomb where they were very much expecting to find him because they didn't understand that he was going to be raised from the dead, even though he'd been telling them, we see something very interesting. And what we see is that the first Easter service, if you want to call it that, actually didn't take place in a church at all. It took place outside of a tomb, and actually the very first appearance of Jesus, as it is accounted to us in the book of John, we see the disciples gathered together inside of a locked room, and Jesus appears to them, somehow coming through those locked doors to their astonishment. And the first thing he says to them is, "Peace be with you." So even in their fear and confusion and anxiety about everything that was going on, in the midst of being held captive to those fears, in a locked room, the resurrected Jesus still comes to them and grants them peace. And in Matthew's account of the resurrection story, the women go to the tomb and they don't find Jesus there, but the angels appear to them. Jesus greets them by name and says to them, "Don't be afraid, but go back and tell my brothers and sisters that you've seen me and that they will see me." And so if anything, this is an opportunity for us to remember what it was like on that first Easter, that people were in a very unusual setting. They were living in a time of fear, and the message that Jesus gave to them was, don't be afraid. Be at peace. And we see Jesus coming to them wherever they were, and Jesus giving to them a message that now they're able to be the ones to take that message of hope, that message of peace, that message of do not fear. They're able to be the ones to take that to their friends and to their neighbors in whatever way they are able. And so even though it is a sad and strange time in many ways, because we're in such a weird context right now of not being able to gather, in other ways it's a time of great encouragement and hope. I mean, it takes away a lot of the worries and the things that we normally become bogged down with and become worked up and get worried about in terms of issues with the building at church and all the logistics of things that go on Sunday mornings. And it gives us the opportunity to be freed up to actually be the church in our communities and in our homes to our families. And so as we approach this Easter Sunday, do not be afraid. Peace be with you. Go and tell your brothers and sisters that Jesus is risen. I hope to see you this Sunday online on our Facebook Live page at 9:30 as we celebrate together the resurrection. Peace be with you, friends. God bless.